Okay, staying on the theme of quality, we have the 4 quality-related costs. And I've seen this as the 4 cost of quality or something like that, but I like it this way. 4 quality-related costs. So our first one here is internal failure cost. This is when the defects are found in the building prior to delivery and we catch it in-house. So when we do this, either we have a total loss, it doesn't work, something's wrong with it, or we have to repair it, rework it, scrap it, and it all results in wasted time. The textbook goes on to say that 1 in 4 employees, if you can believe that, are just there to fix things. Our processes crank out. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. And we make toasters or whatever. They get to the end of the line and somebody has to fix most of them. That's not a good operation. So this is what we call internal failure cost. We find the defect in-house prior to the customer getting it. Our second one is external failure cost. Defects found after delivery to the customer. This one is if you thought internal failure costs were expensive, having employees sitting around fixing things that we couldn't make right. External failure cost is after the customer gets the product. So this goes into warranty cost. Hey, we have a 1-year warranty, it doesn't work, we have to bring it back, repair it, rework it, scrap it, do something with it, and we have to ship out a new one. This damages our reputation. It damages our brand. I mean, that's all we got, and it's really getting beat up. Future business, once you get a reputation for having poor quality products, all the customers know it, future business isn't going to be what it could. And legal cost. Think about the cars, all the cars that are recalled. Once the customer gets a new car, they pick out the new car, their self-esteem, they made the decision to buy this car, and then the company says something doesn't work, you're going to have to bring it back in. What a hassle. One of the latest auto recalls from the report I heard was over a 5-cent part. They had a culture of cost cutting, productivity cost cutting, and what did it get them? Warranty costs and big legal problems. So again, internal failure cost, if those aren't bad enough, external failure costs are even worse, much worse. Look at all of that. So I'm going to call this the cost of poor quality, because our products have defects and it's costing us. Now, in a situation like this, in order for these people to fix things, you have to appraise the products that you're making, and that has cost too. The cost to assess quality levels, including inspections like we did with the toilet paper, sampling checks, really what we did with the toilet paper, maybe customer surveys. This only measures, it doesn't really fix anything. This is also a cost of poor quality. So we have these 3. Now, number 4, I'm going to call this the cost of quality. Prevention cost. Making the operation better. We've talked about it a lot. The cost to prevent defects. Training of employees. Hey, if they're trained, first of all, the processes have to be good and the raw materials have to be good. And then we train the employees, and we should come up with something good. As Toyota would say, the right processes will produce the right results. But we need trained people too. Supplier certifications, something like that. Are the suppliers certified in making of materials? Do they have quality to begin with? Do they have a predictable process? And do their supplies, are they certified as well? It could be to prevent poor quality cost and have quality, new equipment. That might really help. New processes, finding the root cause of problems, maybe using the 5 whys. Also helps to have happy employees that aren't sabotaging the operation. Happy employees who also are under a management style that's positive and relationship oriented, those employees would be more likely to go to management and say, hey, you might not know this, but there's a problem. The unhappy employee will just say, it's not my problem. So, getting people on board. We could also have quality circles. There's a video out on quality circles, but that's where we come together and think about things, maybe try to solve a little problem, maybe look for problems and then solve them. So there we go. Now, you've been working on your burgers, but I just heard a story about a restaurant and the person ordered nacho chips and it came with a roach. Now, this was an internal failure cost. The kitchen put in the chips and the sauce and the roach got in there. But the customer found it, so now it's an external failure cost. And now the customer is going around saying, hey, so-and-so restaurant, you know, they had a roach in the nachos and stuff like that. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? Well, in this case, we could have had some inspection. We found out that, wow, we made a nachos and cheese and it has a roach in it. So the employee could, they've discovered the defect, they could repair it, you know, pull the little guy out and maybe knock off the extra cheese so we don't cheat the customer, and then go rinse the little guy off, maybe with some Dawn like they do the ducks, and then relocate him. Because if we don't have roaches, you know, we have to be sustainable. What are the scorpions gonna eat? So they could have done an appraisal to try to find the roach. Then it would have been an internal failure, but no, it became an external failure. So we could just leave the roaches in the kitchen and then inspect, have one person to just inspect and remove the roaches from the nacho cheese. Or we could just get rid of the roaches to begin with. Now, what would be easier? Get to the root cause, find out where the roaches are coming from, why are they there, we get rid of the roaches, and then this goes down to 0, this goes down to 0, and we don't need to check every nacho to see if it has a roach in it. Makes sense, doesn't it? Well, doesn't make sense to a lot of people, or they'd be doing it. So there we go. This also plays into Deming's chain reaction, where if we just fix the problems, build in quality, then all of these costs, these are costs, will go down. So we end up with a predictable, consistent quality. We don't have to pay for all this, so it's at a lower cost. We hit the customer with higher quality, more predictable quality, and at a lower cost, which gives us a competitive advantage.